kind of about 3% say Final Four. So, not a huge surprise. You thought it would be Patterson.
Yeah, well, I did because I thought football is king, and I think the reason it's 74% is because of the timing. I mean, right now we're in the midst of college basketball, but I still thought the football would be king enough where it would have the advantage. If this question was asked in August, whether or not you'd want, if they had to find out at that point, is Shea Patterson going to be eligible or not to play right away, I think that number would be higher than 80%. But maybe I'm out of touch. I just don't know. Yeah. I figured it was going to be better than that. But
we've been talking about the closing of Toys R Us a little bit, and now there's a movement to save some of the stores. There's somebody from another toy company is basically a company that sells a lot of their toys through Toys R Us, has been part of a group that's pledged over $200 million in hopes to save half the Toys R Us stores. It's kind of a sad day in America. I mean, Toys R Us for kids, for parents, always fun to go to. I mean, it's always fun to go to, even as a parent. I think it's fun to go to. 248-539-9797. Gator Lions, 2 signings yesterday. We were on the air when they signed Luke Wilson, and that was the tight end out of Seattle. Look, this is a guy that basically was a 15-catch-a-year guy. Because he played in Seattle, he played in some big games that a lot of people watch, so you probably saw some of his successes, and he did get in the end zone. He had 4 touchdowns and 15 catches, which is a pretty good rate. He has the same drop rate as Eric Ebron. You have to go back 3 years plus before you come up with 53 catches, which is what Ebron had last year. We did the math, though, and it's a like signing. For Eric Ebron, you paid $166,000 per catch, $163,000 per catch, sorry. For Luke Wilson, he's basically, for the money he's getting, about $166,000 per catch. If what he's getting paid this year, and he has similar production. And for what Ebron got paid last year to his production. So that's similar. And people won't get as mad when he drops a pass because he's not making $8.25 million.
They'll still get mad when he drops a pass.
I don't think it will come anywhere close to their frustration with Ebron.
Well, no, but he's also going to be gone after a year.
Who? Wilson? I thought he had a 2-year contract.
Was it 2?
It was a 2 or 1. Either way, yeah. They certainly won't react the same way. Then, after the show ended, they signed a defensive tackle, a guy who's considered a bit of a run stuffer, in Sylvester Williams. He is a 3-4 nose tackle. As if we need more evidence, right?
Yes, in terms of the Lions switching their defensive look to a 3-4, I think it's pretty obvious. It should have noticed right away when they signed 2 linebackers in the first day that you could sign anybody.
Yep.
Lions want linebackers. So this only makes sense. My only problem with the signing of Sylvester Williams is that now it appears that would probably take them out of the running for Jonathan Hankins.
So what are they getting in Sylvester Williams? They're getting a guy who was a disappointment in Tennessee. He played, I think it was 4 years in Denver, was part of the best run defense in the NFL or in the AFC. It was a really good run defense, and he was considered a big reason for it. He goes to Tennessee, and he was a disappointment last year. They cut him to save $3 million. The term 1 year, but not the financials of his deal have been released. So we don't know how much the Lions got him for. It wasn't so long ago that this was considered a pretty good player, right?
Right. He was a first-round draft pick and he signed a pretty good contract going into last year.
It was just simply put a disappointment. And so now, it's a reclamation project by the Lions. And if he turns anything close to the player that he was, it'll be a really, really good signing. But, the question becomes, what's he going to be moving forward? And how much did he get paid? The Lions have gone with sort of secondary, cheaper, under-the-radar, subtle additions. Is that a good way to put it?
I think that's safe, yeah.
Yeah. They haven't gotten involved in any of the big contracts that are out there.
No, they didn't go after with the money. They weren't chasing the money with Malcolm Butler. They obviously didn't go after the big names on the defensive tackle front with Sheldon Richardson, or Dontari Poe. Didn't go after the big names. They appear to have no connection whatsoever to Ndamukong Suh, despite the fact that he's continuing to look for what team he's going to play for. Latest report I saw said that he doesn't look like he wants to go with the Raiders. So it's becoming a real possibility. It could be the Saints, and there are a couple other teams mentioned. But no, they're not in on the big names. But that's I don't have a problem with them not being in on the big names. I have a problem with them, I guess, kind of slow playing this thing along here. And I think there were players that could have been had at pretty good prices. If their evaluation is that they're better off if they're going to run a 3-4 defense with Sylvester Williams in the middle as opposed to Sheldon Richardson in the middle, okay.
I'll say this, too. It's not about big names. It's about the best players that were available in free agency. I don't subscribe to the theory that you shouldn't sign good free agents. I swear that there's always a guy, that's not how you win. You don't sign free agents. Why not? Why not? Philly's top 2 receivers in the postseason last year, wide receivers, came out of free agency the year before. Their quarterback was a free agent. The starting left guard was a free agent. I have no problem with filling needs through free agency.
Yeah, years ago, didn't New Orleans Saints basically resurrect the franchise because they signed free agent quarterback Drew Brees?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't build your team,
not the whole team,
by free agency. No, but you certainly add pieces to your team through free agency that help fill the holes, fill the needs, and make you competitive. The foundation for every team in the National Football League is the draft.
Yep, that's the most important thing.
Ask Seattle. Okay, that's how they got really good. And maybe the reason Seattle had to sell off all their pieces or just let them go because they're clearly in a rebuild mode is that, well, they didn't want to bring any additions to the team. We'll see how they're going to go moving forward if they're going to be able to build it right back up in a matter of a season or two. It's the NFL. People think that that's how it should be now. It's no longer 5-year projects. It's like a 2-year project. Building yourself up from the ruins and then see what you got. I don't have too many issues with what the Lions have done other than the Ebron thing is what bothers me. And I know people are going to, more than half the people, like, good riddance, let them go and all that. I'm with you on the front that you're not saving, if you're not spending that money, the 8.25 that you gained by releasing him, if you weren't going to spend that, then why not hang on to him? Because he's a better tight end than Wilson.
Yeah.